dreams of reversing the aging process, the ability to feel and look younger with each year, even though you're growing older. While we all tend to believe that getting older means declining, self-proclaimed biohacker Dave Asprey's got a very different idea. The guy that got America putting butter in their coffee is here to give us 3 ways, he says, that help reverse the aging process. Please welcome the ultimate biohacker, my good friend, Dave Asprey. You know, you're very proud that you're a guinea pig. You try everything. If I had ever heard of anything, I'd call you and say, have you tried it yet? Have you ever regretted, because the science changed, you're in the middle of it, you wish you hadn't started?
In my 20s, I was really heavy and my gut was bad, really bad. So nothing worked that was supposed to work, and I bought this electrical pill from Russia. It didn't even have writing in English on it, and you swallow it, and it's supposed to shock your intestines. God. And it got stuck right here, so for 2 hours, I was kicking like this. And I was kind of scared, so I hopped around like this until it moved. Don't do that.
I'm sorry, well, how did it actually, if I can ask, electrical shocks coming out of this, how did it actually come out from the bottom? Number two.
The way you'd expect. It was a little pill, but...
It wasn't shocking you on the way out?
I did the whole time. It was just not a good idea.
Let's go back to when you were in your 20s. I've got a picture that I've seen before that everyone should see of you. It's a very different Dave Asprey. What were you thinking? What were you feeling? I know you said you actually, at that young age, felt old.
When I was 14, I went to the doctor because my knees hurt when I played soccer. And I came out with a diagnosis of arthritis. That's for old people, and I'm a teenager. What's going on? But by the time I was 26, I had less testosterone and more estrogen than my mom. And I started to have brain fog to the point that I bought disability insurance because I'm like, I can't remember what's going on here. And the lab test said high risk of stroke and heart attack. And I'm starting to think I'm old, and I'm not even 30. And it was scary, and I felt like I was losing control. That's what my life was like. That's what made me so passionate about living a long time and not getting old as I age.
So to that point, Dave's got a new book called Superhuman. It's articulating his belief that we could all live to age 180 by hacking our body. And you're going to go first, right? So I hope you all have 401ks out there because you need bigger retirement packages, right? It's a big promise. Why 180 and what's the big change? I mean, our known life expectancy now is maybe 120, and that's very few of us getting even close.
So we know we can do 120. What I'm counting on is that in the next 100 years, we're going to be able to do 50% better. And now we understand what's making us old for the first time ever, so now we can hack it.
Betting on the future. All right, Dave believes that the mitochondria in our DNA is one of the pillars of aging that we can control. Remember, the DNA is critical, but the mitochondria is the energy packets. Come on back here. So here's a way of thinking about it. Let's go inside your body. Let's go inside your cells. Right? And Dave says, imagine your body, your cells, as a house, right? And the mitochondrial DNA is the wiring, right? It's the lighting up there, right? They start to blink on. The air conditioning, thank goodness you got some dehumidifiers. You ever got a fire going, right? Gas controlled, but electrically powered, right? Once the mitochondrial DNA is damaged, this beautiful house changes. All of a sudden, it's still standing, but who wants to live in a house with everything busted, right? The microwave blew out, the screens don't work, the air conditioner is busted, the bulbs have blown out. Nothing's the way you want it. This is the houses that many of us live in. It's still there. From the outside, it looks okay, but on the inside, it's not right. And Dave says damaged mitochondrial DNA can lead to every one of the 4 big killers that we all fear the most. Diabetes and Alzheimer's, which I've been talking about a lot this season. Even cancer, and heart disease and diabetes obviously travel together. So Dave says adding energy fat is the first trick to reversing aging. Now this concept of energy fat is intriguing to me because most of us grew up thinking fat wasn't so good. We started to challenge that. But the idea that fat could actually be your main energy, not carbohydrates, is shocking to a lot.
It's really shocking because we've all heard fat makes us fat. There is a kind of fat that doesn't get stored in the body. Instead, it gets burned directly as energy.
All right, so he's going to show us his new take on the famous bulletproof coffee using energy fat. So first off, please remind everybody what bulletproof coffee is. And this is the main reason America got to fall in love with you, because you introduced a concept that people played with, dabbled with. Coffee is something that's good for you, but you actually hacked it with the butter. And actually, you explain it.
Sure. It turns out when you put milk in coffee, milk disables the plant compounds in coffee that are good for you. So instead, just put the same fat that's in the milk, grass-fed butter, and it tastes amazing, and you add C8 MCT oil.
This is the extra fat you're adding now to sort of turbocharge it.
This is the energy fat. You put it in there, it tastes just like coffee, like a latte, but something happens. And I've lost 100 pounds. I've changed my brain. I'm young again, even though I'm in my mid-40s.
Yeah. 100 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one way that I think, and again, this is a key point, if you want to hack these things, experiment. You didn't just do everything. You did them one by one. You were very methodical about it.
Yeah.
But I think trying bulletproof coffee, again, which you've talked about on the show here, butter with coffee, is a wise hack. I do think the caffeine lasts a little longer.
It does.
So you get a little more boost. You don't have to take quite as much caffeine into your body. And I had not thought of adding these kinds of fats. C8 is the C stands for carbon, so it's a very specific one of those. It'll theoretically bump up your ketones, right? So if you're trying to stay ketotic, it might help you there.
In fact, 4 times more than coconut oil. So this is, in university studies, the one that's shown to raise ketones the most.
All right, so I'll toast to you on that. If you're on one of these ketone diets, give it a shot. Dave Asprey. Coming up, 2 more of Dave's tricks. He says he can help reverse the aging process. Plus, we're going inside, listen carefully, Dave Asprey's poop, where no man should want to go. But we're going there. Stay with us. We are back with a guy who plans to live until he's 180. Dave Asprey, who says getting older no longer means your body has to decline. And his next trick to reverse aging deals with keeping your brain young, which we all want. It's the number one thing people complain about. And you argue it's about prebiotics, not probiotics, prebiotics. Why?
All sorts of new studies are showing that it's how you feed the bacteria in your gut that determines which ones you'll have, and whether you have old people bacteria or young people bacteria.
And we outsource digestion to our bacteria. So Dave says the gut-brain-body connection is undeniable, and we are years away from knowing all the subtleties, but as a glimpse into the future, he turned his own poop into a science experiment. So come on down. We'll be passing samples out later to the audience. Let's look at what was found in Dave's poop. Now, good score means there's more richness, right? Which in turn can provide more resilience to your microbiome, ecosystem. And again, you outsource digestion. So if the bacteria aren't right, you got a problem. Okay, before going on prebiotics, your microbiome richness score in your poop was a 61. After taking prebiotics for a few months, Dave's active microbial richness was 158. Don't applaud, because you don't know what that means yet. I don't either. How big a deal was that? And what does it mean in terms of our overall ability to age, to think, and do everything in life?
It's a huge deal, Dr. Oz. I am a nutritional expert, and I didn't have enough bacteria because I travel so much that I wasn't eating enough vegetables. So these prebiotics, things like asparagus, Brussels sprouts, sweet potatoes, I just couldn't get enough from restaurants. So I added these prebiotic fibers, and this is the bacteria count, the number of species of a young person. So I went from having an old person's gut to a young person's gut in 3 months by feeding the good guys.
So this is sort of, to me anyway, like having a knee replacement if your knee's busted, or hip replacement. I mean, as we get older, we're going to have things fail on us. And I think one of the things even at a younger age that can fail is the bacteria that are supposed to cooperate with us. So antibiotics might change this, or a bad diet for a while might change this. So if that's a pretty easy thing to hack, we ought to be doing it. Next thing Dave says he can help reverse the aging process is what he likes to call metal bashing. Is this a musical term?
It is indeed, not really. It turns out, if you think about it, if you have stuff that stays stuck in your body, if you're going to live to 180, like I'm planning to, that means that you're going to get an awful lot of crud built up, and one of the cruds that builds up is toxic heavy metals. They're present in our environment, things like lead, mercury, nickel, and if you don't get rid of them or stop them from coming in, by the time you're old, you're going to be disabled by these things.
Like what specifically would it do if you have mercury level? My mercury is really high. I got a letter from the State Department of Health. And I think I take good care of myself. I was just eating the wrong kinds of things.
Yeah.
So what does it do?
It affects your ability to make energy in your cells themselves. It increases your risk of cancer, especially breast cancer, and it lowers cognitive function, and it increases your risk of almost every disease.
It adds up quite quickly. So show us an important food group. It's fish. They can put us at risk for metal toxins. And a lot of you know about the warnings around tuna, but there's a lot of issues out here. Please explain them.
So a lot of people might not know swordfish and tuna are the highest ones, but if you were to instead...
And mackerel, which I happen to adore, unfortunately, is also a problem.
But if you move over here, you say, oh, salmon. Salmon can be at the low to mid-range, especially if you get sockeye. And sardines, though, because think about it, they're this young baby fish. The fish over here may have spent 50 years eating other fish, building up all that mercury. I don't want 50 years worth of mercury build up in my brain. No. That's why I'm going to go for the sardines.
So I become a huge sardine fan. I like anchovies. I eat all these. Salmon obviously is my main staple, but you have a little hack.
Here's a little hack. Shall we squeeze these?
Yes, what does lemon do?
What lemon does, it provides vitamin C, and vitamin C can help you not absorb the mercury that's in the fish itself. And if you add those vegetables, those fibrous vegetables that I talked about before, any sort of fiber is going to help to bind to the mercury so that you don't get it in your body. Plus, it tastes good, so you're winning on every front.
I love when these traditional ways of preparing foods turn out to have additional advantages you never knew about. It's why if you have steak, you should have tomatoes with it, because there's sort of an antidote a little bit to some of the issues.
Right.
This is one I hadn't thought about, but thanks for educating me.
Thank you,
Congratulations on all your success, Dave. Don't forget to check out Dave's fantastic new book. It's called Superhuman. And the best part is that everybody in our audience is going home with a copy of Dave's new book, Superhuman. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on new videos to live the good life.